Hi there, and welcome to the Okey's crochet tutorial for making your very own adorable frog. I'm Haley, and I'm so excited to crochet with you today. In this video, we'll go step by step so you can follow along at your own pace. Before we dive in, here are the basic crochet skills or stitches you'll need for this project. Single crochet, increase, color changing, decrease, and sewing pieces together. If you're new to any of these, don't worry. You can find quick tutorials for them right above this video on this page, or head to our crochet basics section on the tutorial page of our website. Take your time practicing before jumping in here. There's no rush. Let's take a look at everything in your kit to make your cute little frog. If you're using the Okey's kit, here's what's included. Yarn, safety eyes, stitch markers, a sewing needle, and stuffing. Now a quick note before we get started. Don't hesitate to pause or rewind anytime. You've got this. Alright, let's get started. Grab your yarn and hook and we'll begin with the first step. To start your cute frog, we're going to start by doing a magic ring alternative with 12 stitches. Start by holding your yarn in your non-dominant hand, wrap it around, create your X, then grab your hook, go under the first one, grab the second one, pull it through, creating a loop. Grab the working yarn again, pull it through. Now holding the yarn on your hook with your dominant hand, lightly pull on this yarn tail till it tightens up that knot. Now chain one more. All right. Now to start our magic ring alternative, we're going to go into the second loop from the crochet hook. So you're going to start at the hook, count 1, 2, insert your hook right there, yarn over, pull through. So there's 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. Now you've created 1 single crochet, and we're going to repeat that 11 more times to give us 12. Insert a hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. You can kind of pull on that yarn tail to slightly tighten up that circle. It won't tighten it up a ton, this little hole in the middle, but it'll reduce it a little bit. All right. We're going to place our stitch marker right in that first stitch that we just created. Now we're ready to start round 2. All right. For this round, we're going to do 12 increases where we're doing 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. Insert your hook into where the stitch marker is. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Now insert your hook into that same stitch that you just went in. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops. And then we're going to repeat that all the way around the circle 11 more times. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, move that stitch marker up. All right, round 3, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets and then an increase, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. Start 1 single crochet, 2, 3, increase number 1, 1, 2, 3, increase number 2, 1, 2, 3, increase number 3, 1, 2, 3, increase number 4, 1, 2, 3, increase number 5, 1, 2, 3, increase number 6. All right, move that stitch marker up. All right, next step is 4 single crochets and an increase, and we're going to repeat that 6 times as well. Again, start where your stitch marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, increase number 6. All right, move that stitch marker up. All right, round 5, we're going to be doing 5 single crochets and an increase 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase number 6. All right, move the stitch marker up. All right, for round 6 through 10, or the next 5 rounds, we're just going to be single crocheting all the way around for 42 stitches. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, oops, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Move the stitch marker. Alright, we're going to go around again. Move the stitch marker up. Round 8, same thing, go all the way around. Alright, move the stitch marker up. Round number 9, again, we're just going to go into single crochets all the way around. Alright, round 9 done. Move the stitch marker up. Round 10, our last time going single crochets all the way around. Uh-oh. Make sure you don't go through the loop of your stitch marker. Make sure you're just going through the yarn and move your stitch marker off to the side a little bit. Alright, round 10 complete. Move that stitch marker up. Alright, for round 11, we're going to do 5 single crochets and a decrease, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For this project, we'll be doing an invisible decrease, but you can always just do a regular decrease if you feel more comfortable with that. Don't worry if your yarn slips off your hook, it happens. If you need to restart the stitch because you forgot where you were, just totally feel free to do that. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our last decrease. All right, move the stitch marker up. Make sure you insert your stitch marker into the correct stitch so that you make sure to get all the stitches in that round. All right, round 12, we're going to be doing 4 single crochets with a decrease, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, got ahead of myself there. No 5 single crochets, we're only doing 4 and a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. Okay. Move the stitch marker up. All right, round 13, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets with a decrease 6 times. 1, 2, 3, decrease, 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 1, 2, 3, slipped. All right, decrease. Maybe. Okay. All right, round 14 is going to be 2 single crochets and a decrease. 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease. Last one, 1, 2, decrease. All right, at this point we are going to stuff the head just a little bit to make sure that we are stuffing it evenly. So go ahead and grab some stuffing. And we're just going to get a little bit of our stuffing. We're not going to really fill it too full. We're just going to get a little bit in there. All right. Round 15, we're going to do increases all the way around. increase 1, increase 2, increase 3, increase 4, increase 5, increase 6, increase number 7, increase 8, nine, one more. All right. Now we're gonna go for round 16. We're just gonna single crochet all the way around. All right, move the stitch marker up. All right, so in round 17 is where we're gonna start adding our cute little belly on our frog. So make sure that you have both yarn colors for this one. So we're gonna start by single crocheting 13 times with our green yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so to start this color change, we are going to grab our white yarn as well. And we're going to start by going into the next stitch and pulling up a loop with green. And then we're going to take our white yarn, loop it over the hook, and we're going to pull the white yarn through. So now we have our white yarn connected and our green is kind of at our stopping point. And now we're going to do 10 single crochets with the white. So 1, or I guess technically that first one where we hooked the white through, that counted as a single crochet. So we have 2 so far. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did when connecting the white yarn. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop of white, go back to the green, which we never cut off. We're going to leave it all attached. And we're going to pull the green through. Now we're going to finish off this round with 13 green, so that counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oops, 11, 12, and 13. All right, move your stitch marker up. And one thing I like to do really quickly before I get too far is this little white yarn tail where we attach the white yarn. I just like to tie it in a quick little knot with the green yarn that is just loose in the frog's head from the color changes. Just that way it kind of helps secure the white in place, so that way it's not gonna come out and unravel our whole piece because now it's tied to the green. But you don't have to do that. That's just something that I personally like to do. All right. Round number 18, 19, and 20 are going to be the exact same thing 3 more times. So start with 13 single crochets in green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whoops, 11, 12, 13. All right, now remember, for our clean color change, insert the hook, pull up a green loop, yarn over with the white, oh my goodness, and pull the white through. All right, now 10 with the white, so that first one, remember, counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, color change, insert your hook, pull up a white loop, yarn over with green, pull it through, and then continue crocheting for a total of 13 single crochets, or just single crochet with green all the way back to the stitch marker. All right, same thing again on round number 18, or that was 18, excuse me. Move that stitch marker up, and round number 19, be the exact same thing. Again, start with 13 single crochets in green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, color change, insert hook, pull up a green loop, yarn over, pull through with white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Insert hook, pull up a white loop, yarn over with green, pull the green through, and then single crochet back to the stitch marker for a total of 13 green single crochets. All right, move the stitch marker up. And now we are on round 20, which is going to be our last round with the white yarn. So same thing, 13 single crochets in green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Insert your hook, pull up a green loop, yarn over with white, pull through. All right, now single crochet 9 more with the white for a total of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Insert your hook, pull up a white loop, yarn over with green, pull through both loops. Single crochet with the green back to the stitch marker for a total of 13. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Move that stitch marker up. All right, now at this point I do like to cut off the white yarn because we are not going to be using it anymore. So leave a bit of a yarn tail. And then like I did at the beginning, I'm just going to take that cut piece of white and just tie it to a piece of green that is right next to it. And you don't want to tie this super tight, just enough that it's going to hold the white on. That way you don't have to worry about it unraveling. Tuck all those yarn strands in. They're going to kind of act as a little bit of stuffing, which is really nice. So you won't have to stuff your amigurumi as much. All right. For round 21, we're going to be doing a full ring around of green, so 36 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Move the stitch marker up. All right, now at this point we're going to kind of start closing up the body a little bit. So we're going to do 4 single crochets with a decrease, and we're going to repeat that 6 times around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 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 Yarn keeps slipping off my hook. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. All right, maybe not. Okay, move that stitch marker up. All right, at this point you should be able to see the belly come to life because now we can see it. So as you'll notice, the belly kind of slants a little bit to the left. For me, because I'm right-handed, but again, it should just slant. It'll slant a little bit, just that's the way that the stitches work with those color changes, so don't worry too much about it. But that is how it's supposed to look, so don't worry. If yours is slanting, totally normal. All right. Round 23, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets and then a decrease 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, decrease, 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 1, 2, 3, decrease. All right, move the stitch marker up. All right, we're gonna start by just adding a couple little bits of stuffing into the body right now, just so we're not stuffing it as much with a smaller hole. So grab your stuffing, kind of separate it into smaller chunks. We're just gonna lightly stuff, because again, you already have those yarn tails in there and stuff, so that definitely adds to the stuffing, so don't overstuff it. But you should be good with the amount of stuffing. All right, and we can always add more. So let's keep going. Round 24 is going to be 2 single crochets and a decrease 6 times. So 1, 2, decrease, 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 1, 2, come on, decrease. All right, move your stitch marker up. All right, round 25, we're going to do a single crochet and a decrease 6 times. So single. At this point, I'm just going to switch to a regular decrease because it gets kind of tight to do an invisible decrease, but you can do whatever you want. Single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease. All right. Move that stitch marker out of the way entirely. And we're just going to do 6 decreases around. So decrease 1, decrease 2, decrease 3, decrease 4, decrease 5, decrease 6. All right, finish it off with a slip stitch. Remember, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and pull that same loop through again. All right, now we're going to cut the yarn off, leaving a little bit of a yarn tail. We're going to thread our green yarn into our yarn needle. All right. And then we're going to insert our yarn needle into the front loops only of that last round and pull through. Make sure you're going in every single stitch. And lightly pull on it as you go to kind of close up that hole. Even if the hole closes up, make sure you go through those last stitches just so that it's completely closed and not open at all. And then I like to just hide the yarn tail by sticking my yarn needle back into the frog, pulling it out somewhere else, and then cutting it off. All right, and now we have our froggy body. All right, now that we have the froggy body done, we can move on to creating the eyes, the legs, and the arms. So grab your green yarn again. We're gonna start with doing the eyes. So again, we're gonna create our magic ring alternative by creating that X. Under the first, grab the second, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through again, hold, lightly pull, chain 1, and then we're going to do 8 single crochets into that second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now that we have that done, we are going to actually chain 1, and then we're going to decrease 1, like so. Then we're going to do 6 increases, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do one more decrease to end off that round. All right, slip stitch to finish it off. Cut it off, and on the first 2 parts of the eyes, we're going to leave long yarn tails. So on this one and one more. And then on another 2, we're going to do fairly short long yarn tails. So pull that one off to the side. And we're going to do that exact same thing 3 more times. So magic ring alternative. Chain 1, 8 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. All right, chain 1, decrease 1, six increases, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and decrease. Slip stitch to finish it off. Remember, long yarn tail. All right, 2 more. Magic ring alternative. Chain 1. Eight single crochets in the second chain from the hook. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, chain 1, then decrease once. Six increases. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, decrease. And finish with a slip stitch. Both of these ones you don't need to leave as long of a yarn tail. All right. One more. Magic ring alternative. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chain 1, decrease, six increases, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, decrease, single crochet to finish it off, or sorry, slip stitch. A little bit of a yarn tail. All right. Four eyes are done. Let's go ahead and do 2 arms and 2 legs before we start sewing everything on. So for the arms, we're gonna do our magic ring alternative. And then we're gonna do 8 single crochets in that second chain from hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now for the hands, all we're gonna do is we're gonna keep it at 8 single crochets, and we're just gonna go around from rounds 2 to 8. So that's 7 rounds. So we're just gonna single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. All right, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's round 2. Again, keep going until you get to 8 rounds total, or 7 rounds after the magic ring alternative. Make sure you remember to flip your piece so that the right side of the crochet is facing outwards. Just keep going. And as with any of our patterns, you can always alter how many stitches you do. You can alter any part of it to make this little froggy how you would like. So if you want the arms to be longer, shorter, do as many rows as you want, or as many rounds as you would like, or as many stitches as you would like. Just either make it your own, or you're welcome to follow the pattern. Alright, just keep going till you feel like it's long enough, and if you need to, you can grab your froggy body. You can kind of pinch the top of the arm and hold it up and see, oh, I want it longer than that, and keep going, or you want it shorter. So just kind of gauge, use your body as an the gauge for how long you want it, just because every single piece is going to be a little bit different. So maybe you want yours to be a little longer than mine, or maybe your body is a little longer than mine. So just use your froggy body as a guide as to how long your arms should be. Because the arms should touch the ground if the frog is sitting up. Like I said, it's about 8 rounds, but again, it may differ. Alright, let's check again. Let's see where we're at with our froggy arms. I actually think those look good for my frog. So now to close up the hand, we are just going to do a little, like the tiniest bit of stuffing, so make sure you don't use it all in the body, but if you did, that's totally fine. You could use a little bit of yarn as well, or you don't have to stuff the hand at all. But you are going to add just a little bit, mostly to the end, just to give the end a little something. And then we are going to pinch the two ends together, and we are going to single crochet 4 times across the top to seal it shut. Make sure you're going in through both sides when you're pulling the yarns through. 2, 3, 4. Cut it off, leaving a decent sized yarn tail. All right, and repeat one more time for another arm. One thing with the arms is you do want them to be the same length, unless you don't and you want them to be uneven, that's totally fine. Again, do whatever you would like to do because it's your frog. However, I'm going to make my frog arms even. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count how many rounds I have on this arm, and then I'm just going to match it on here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like I actually have 9 rounds on this guy instead of 8. Totally fine. Again, do what you want. It's really just whatever you think looks best and whatever look you want your frog to have. Remember to flip your crochet piece so that the right side faces out. A little bit of stuffing. And then those 4 single crochets across the top. 2, 3, 4. All right, cut it off. And now we have both arms done. Onto the legs. All right, so again, start with our magic ring alternative. And this time we're going to do 10 single crochets in that chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then same thing as the arms, we're just going to go around with 10 single crochets, and we're going to go around 5 times. Of course, you can make these as long or as short as you want. It's totally up to you. Again, make sure you flip it so that the right side of crochet is facing outwards. right, when you feel like you've got a decent length for your frog, again, add just a little bit of stuffing. To those legs. And then single crochet across the top again. Should be about 5 single crochets this time. Does not want to cooperate with me right now. There we go. Three, 4, all right, and 5 single crochets. Cut it off. And repeat one more time. Start with our magic ring alternative. Chain 1, and then again 10 single crochets in that chain. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, single crochet around till you get that length that you want. Flip your crochet at some point so that the right side is facing out. Again, do whatever you want for the legs, but make sure they're about the same size if you want. All right, add a little bit of stuffing. Five single crochets across the top with both layers included. Two, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we are done making all of the parts of the frog. We are going to sew them all together. All right, now that we're done with all of the parts, we are going to start sewing them onto our froggy body. So I am going to start with the arms and the legs, getting those on first. Let's start with the legs. So grab your yarn needle, grab a leg, thread the yarn needle, all right, so where I'm wanting my frog legs, what you kind of want to do is make sure that they're a little more on the sides because we're going to be having the frog arms come down in the front. So I'm going to start on the side that has the yarn attached right there, and I'm going to attach it right at this bottom corner of the belly. So I'm going to flip it upside down just to kind of help me sew it on at the right angle. But we're going to start right at that bottom corner. All right, and then you're just going to sew it on, alternating between going through the body and going through the leg, going through those single crochets at the top. That's why we do them. And making sure that you're sewing in a straight line is going to be key. Again, obviously you can sew them on wherever you would like, wherever you think looks best. This is just where I am choosing to sew mine on, but feel free to alter it. All right, as soon as you're finished sewing that on, just kind of weave in the tail for a second. All right, one leg is on, let's get the other leg on. If you don't want your frog legs and arms to be able to kind of be a little more floppy and movable, you can always leave the top of them open, so don't do that final single crochet together round, and just sew it on in a circle. That'll kind of give it a more stiff look, but I want mine to be floppy. So again, Starting with this corner that has the yarn attached. I'm gonna start at the bottom corner of the belly. Attach it right there. And just start sewing. All right, again, weave in those yarn tails. I just like to do it to really secure them on so that we don't lose any limbs. Especially if you're making this as a gift for someone like a kid who's going to be playing with it a lot. You want those limbs secure. All right, 2 legs on our froggy body. All right, next I'm going to move on to the arms just so that we get a base for it before we get started on the eyes. So for the arms, we're going to attach it to our yarn needle. All right, and then I'm going to start again, same spot, except this time I'm going to make one of the edges up from here, but instead of going out the same way the leg is going, it's actually going to be going the opposite way, so it's going to go in the middle of the legs. So again, start with our yarn tail on one side, attach it at the top of the belly. But this time, we're going this direction. Keeping it going. So it's going towards the belly. The belly is definitely helpful. It kind of gives us a guide as to where to sew our body parts on. So that's super nice. Not all animals have that, but luckily this one does. All right, again, keep it in a straight line. We're going right, basically we're going this line right above the belly. But again, put it where you want it, where you think looks best. Totally up to you. This is just where I'm putting it. All right, once you have it on, we're gonna weave in those ends. You don't have to do it a lot, just like 1 or 2 times, just to kind of get on. You want it to kind of blend a little bit. That one didn't blend super well, but that's all right. It's going to be covered up by another arm. So let's cut it off. All right, 1 froggy arm is attached. All right, let's grab our other arm. Thread it through the needle. Again, we're taking that part with this yarn attached to it and we're putting it at the edge of the belly, straight up from this. So we're gonna attach it on. And now we're just gonna start sewing it on. Again, keep it in line with that other arm if you want, but we want to keep it in line the best we can on the same row, but do your best. All right, weave those yarn tails in. All right, cut them off. And one thing about the froggy arms is they do kind of like to stick straight out at first. So we just kind of want to force them to go straight down, so kind of position your frog sitting up. And we're just gonna kind of force those arms, but that's what it should look like when it's sitting. There we go. All right, time for the eyes. So to start with the eyes, we're gonna grab our pieces and we're gonna put one shorter long tail with one longer yarn tail. We're gonna group them like that. Next, we're gonna take our safety eyes and on one of the sides, just whatever side you want to put it on, look at the two sides, kind of see which one you want to put the eye on, but you're going to stick it right through that center hole and stick the back on the safety eye. All right, so then you have one done like that of the first group. Second group, pick your poison, stick it through the middle, pop the back on him, make sure it clicks all the way into place. All right. Now pick one of the eyes to start with, one of the groups, and we're going to take the longer yarn tail, whoops, and that's the one that we're going to thread onto our yarn needle. All right, and then we're going to grab our other back, and we're just going to I'm going to cut some of these yarn tails just a little shorter, and then we're going to stick them into the center, all bunched up, and then we're going to take our longer one, and we're going to put it right on top, so it kind of makes this little sandwich. Again, tuck all the short yarn tails into the center. It's going to kind of act as some stuffing, give our frog eyes a little dimension. And then we're going to start sewing the two circles together. Now for this method, we are going to just be using a whip stitch. So you're just going to be going over the top and then going up through both sides. All right, make your way all the way around the eye so that the entire thing is sewn shut. Alright, once you have that done, it should look something like this, where you've got our eye on one side and then the back on the other. With this attached, because we don't want to cut it off, do the other one and reattach it, we're just going to go right into attaching it to our froggy head. So kind of decide the placement of it, how far forward you want it to be, how centered you want them to be. Once you have that in mind, attach it to the head. All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of take it, and so I stuck it through the head one time, and then we're gonna go back up through the eye, kind of coming right up above where the yarn is attaching. And then we're gonna attach it to the head again. And then attach it back through the eye. And then back through the head one more time, but this time you can kind of weave those yarn tails in where you want. All right. Weave those yarn tails in a little bit, again, securing the eye on. Cut it off. And let's do the other eye. Grab your two pieces, grab the longer yarn tail. So it looks like this time our longer yarn tail is the back of the eye. Totally fine, it does not matter which one is which. Tie it on. All right. Again, I'm gonna cut these yarn tails a little bit shorter on the other eye. Now that I decided which eye was for what. Tuck them all into the center. Tuck the short yarn tails in and whip stitch this shut. Again, going all the way around. All right, once you have sewn it completely shut, now we're going to place it on the froggy body. So for this one, I like to try and keep it in line for the most part with the other eye, and then obviously just same distance away. So decide where that is for you. All right, and finish sewing the eye on by going through the body, then up through the eye. Back through the body. Up into the eye. and into the body one more time, and then pull it out. All right, weave that yarn tail through one more time. This looks like we have some stuffing coming out. All right, cut it off. All right, now all the frog parts are sewn on to our cute little froggy. Now all that's left is his smile. All right, so I'm gonna insert my black yarn into the frog head, and I'm just gonna insert it kind of down here by his chin. And then we're gonna go up to where we want the smile to start on one end. Kind of pull it through, leave a little bit still sticking out. And then again, change how you want your frog mouth if you want it a certain way. I kind of want mine to be kind of big for this one. So then put it through the other side where you want it, and then have the needle come back out through the same hole that we went in through at the beginning. Like that. And then we're gonna put our needle underneath the mouth, like so. And then we're gonna pull it down. Wait. All right, pull your needle. When you're coming through, you're gonna kind of put it right. It's kind of hard to get there. Right below the center of the mouth. The yarn likes to get wrapped around the limbs. And just kind of take as many times as you need to try and get there by going in and out through the same holes. All right, once you're there, yarn needle underneath the mouth, pull up and down. All right, and then we're gonna go back in the hole that we went in. And we're gonna go right down here below the mouth, just a teeny bit. Come back out of that hole we went in at the beginning. You kind of have to squish and manipulate your frog just a little bit. Then kind of play with the smile, make sure that you like where it's sitting. All right, go ahead and cut your yarn needle off. And then I like to just take my two and tie just a knot. And this one, if you went out through the same hole that you came in at, you should be able to tighten it. And then taking your crochet hook, bring it again out through that same hole that you have the yarn through. Grab both ends of the yarn and pull it into that hole. Oops, I did not want to pull it out the side of the frog's head. Go in, go back in. All right. And then we're just gonna cut it off down here. And then again, go up through that same hole, grab the rest of those yarn tails, pull them into the froggy body. And there you have it. Your own adorable Kasper the Frog is complete. Before you go, I'd love to see your finished frog. Share your creations on social media and tag us at Okey's Crochet so we can admire your amazing work. Plus, it's a great way to inspire other crocheters to join in the fun. Happy crocheting!